Hi ladies, good morning. I am work and we're going to be reading the words on the wall today. We're still reading out of our book, Bedtime Stories, and I have a new guest today with us. I hope Janet's going to join us a little more often. You know what, ladies, you could pray for her. She's recovering from cancer and COVID. Oh, the two C's. That's pretty awful. But I did want to say hi to Mom. Mom, take care of yourself. Mima, she fell down and hurt her ankle, and I think it might be broken. I'll have to give you guys an update next week. Ugh. And Mima, you be careful. We're going to get to come and see you soon, about, I don't know, a couple more weeks, maybe 3-ish weeks with Yogi. So that's very exciting. All right. So hi to everybody and welcome. And hi, Mary. Hi, Melda. I'm never sure which one of you is going to be watching with Mima. Okay, so let me check my sound because I always screw up and everyone tells me, oh, you're quiet. Yeah, who thinks I'm quiet? Nobody. All right, so today we're reading the words on the wall. Paula was frightened. She was all alone in the house and it was getting late. The missionary and his wife were called away suddenly on a long trip up into the mountains, and she had agreed to stay in the house and keep an eye on things until they returned. But they had not come back. What should she do? She wanted so much to go back to her own home, but how could she? She had agreed to stay there until they came, and she could not break her promise. But to be alone at night with so many bad people, those bad people worried her. She had heard so much about them, and in this country, thieves were constantly breaking into houses and stealing everything they could carry, and no one dared to leave a window open or a door unlocked. The thieves had been known to even put their arms through the open window in broad daylight and quickly grab anything they could and run off with it. Too afraid to sit still, Paula walked nervously from room to room, keeping the lights on everywhere so that if there were a thief around, he would think everyone was home. Sometimes, just to keep up her courage, she would stand still and read one of the Bible texts that the missionaries had hung on the wall. It did her heart good to read. The angel of the Lord encamped around about them. Or, that will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusts in thee. Most of all, Paula was impressed by the big chart of the 10 Commandments, which hung right opposite the front door. That was the chart the missionary used in all of his meetings at the church. Somehow it made her feel safer when she read the big type which said, God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt and out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And she thought of a great God of Israel who had saved his people from the Egyptians, and she tried to believe that he would save her from any thieves. It was nearly midnight. All was very still and silent, and not a sound could be heard anywhere. Not a whisper of wind in the trees, not a bark of a dog, not a bray of a donkey, or even the cry of a child. Okay, so here she is, pretty darned afraid. And I would also be home alone in a foreign place. Suddenly, a strange noise broke the silence. There was a scraping sound near the door. Paula listened, petrified with fright. Yes, someone was trying to pick the lock. It must be one of the thieves. Suppose he should break in. What should she do? What could she do? Now there was a bump and then another bump, and whoever was outside the door was trying to force it open. Paula ran into the corner and huddled down behind a piece of furniture where she could see without being seen. Her heart was thumping so loud she was sure the man must hear it. Suddenly there was a very loud bump and a crash as the door burst open and flew back against the wall. Striding into the room was a big, brawny, evil-looking man. He looked around him, trying to make up his mind what he should carry away. Terrified, Paula looked on. What would he steal? The clock, the ornaments, the mantle, or the silverware in the bureau drawer? His keen, shrewd eyes seemed to take everything in as they swept the room. Then the thief paused. His eyes had fallen on something else, something different, something he had never seen before. It was the 10 Commandment chart. He seemed to be saying to himself, "What strange thing is this, the writing on the wall?" He went closer to examine the chart, and then he folded his arms, and he quietly read all the way through, beginning with the words, "God spake all these words, saying," and he read on down through the first commandment, the second commandment, the third, the fourth. When he came to the fifth, "Honor thy father and thy mother," and the sixth, "Thou shalt not kill," and the seventh, "Thou shalt not commit adultery," and the eighth, "Thou shalt not steal," and the ninth, "Thou shalt not bear false witness or lie against thy neighbor," and finally the 10th, "Thou shalt not covet, desire, want thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife or his manservant or his maidservant or his ox or his ass or anything that is thy neighbor's." Paula wondered what the thief would do when he came to the end. She was certainly not prepared for what happened. As he finished reading the chart, he suddenly turned on his heel, and without saying a word or taking a single thing, he walked quietly out of the house. It was as though God himself had spoken to him from the words on the wall. The next day, when the missionaries returned, they found Paula all excited over her great adventure with half of the furniture piled in front of the door. "Wonderful," they said when they heard her story. "What power there is in the law of the Lord." Okay, here she is at the end with the missionaries. And you know what? I got so carried away with the guy, the scary looking guy, that I think I forgot to show him to you. And there's actually a picture of him. So sorry, guys. Here he is. Here's the guy. And you can see that she is right here hiding. Yeah, it looks like plain sight, hiding right there. So that is a scary story. You know what? I think we all think about, oh my gosh, what if I got robbed? Oh, what if someone broke in? Ah! I know that's me. I would be mortified. I would really hope my dog, my Doberman that acts like some kind of a weenie dog, would be brave and bold and save me, but I don't think he would. So I would have to pray and depend on the Lord also. And God is with us even when we think he's not. He's still there. Okay, girls. That's my story for the week, and that's my hello, goodbye, and I'll see you again really, really soon. I want all of you guys to take good care of yourself, okay? No fooling around.